This is the Shotgun City Sheriff, the law himself, Clayton Clark.
This is the young Titan, Aaron Atlas.
This is your favorite drunken pro wrestler, a.k.a. the Bud Light Brawler, Dalton Davis.
This is Danger Josh Crane.
Hey, this is Matt Brannigan.
This is Sage Phillips, the Catch Wrestling Casanova.
This is Steve Wilson, the man behind former Impact Wrestling and current independent wrestling star, The Monster, Congo Kong.
This is Jake Something.
And this is the jaw-jacking, back-cracking, God created all men equal, and then he made me the sequel, Rohit Raju, and you are listening to the Spot Show Podcast.
The Spot Show Podcast.
Spot Show Podcast.
The Spot Show Podcast.
Spot Show Podcast. Hell yeah.
The Spot Show Podcast.
The Spot Show Podcast? Yeah, that's right, I stuttered. Shut up.
All right, let's see if I can remember how to do this. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Spot Show Podcast, a professional wrestling podcast that is not about professional wrestling. I am one of your hosts, the Dr. Seuss of the commentary booth, Dickie Wabash, joined as always by the one-man boy band, Michael Madrox.
What up, Dickie?
I feel like that we say this a lot, okay? And sorry for sounding like a broken record, but it's just the truth of the matter in that for you guys, it has not been a very long time, but for us, it feels like it has been forever. Not only did we not have a podcast a couple of weeks ago, so for you guys, I guess it has been kind of a while since you've heard our voices, but I mean, we haven't recorded in what feels like 7 years.
Yeah, and I think the fact that we are officially back in studio.
And that's what makes it feel even better, brother. We are back in the MadBash studio. It has no longer become the extra storage room of my house.
Well, I mean,
it's still the extra storage room of my house, let's be honest. I had to clean it up, though, in order to film Now You Know, which, look at Dickie segues. Look at Dickie segues.
Right off the bat.
I have not lost it. But no, it really has been a while because, we obviously, we skipped a couple of weeks ago just because we felt like we just wanted to take a little bit of a break because we're not necessarily in a rebranding process, which, as you can see, there's new artwork on the podcast. There's a new intro for the podcast, which I
love that intro.
It's so good. Thank you to everyone that provided a voiceover for said intro. There's going to be more of those to come. Those were just ones that we were able to get in that moment, but there are going to be other people that, because a few of those people you reached out to through Facebook and they sent in messages, but a lot of them we got at Hybrid in May. And there were just a few people that weren't on that show that we weren't able to get that we would like to get. So going forward, we're going to try to get more people so that we can get a little...
I like a variety for the intro.
Yeah, kind of spice it up a little bit and make the intro different.
Plus, I feel
time.
like it gives the fans like an opportunity to hear someone they wouldn't suspect to be on our podcast.
That's true. And I think that it's the most... that I have, since I've been in the business, felt like a mark to like go up to people and be like, can you record a voiceover for my podcast?
The funny thing is, after we started doing it with the first one with Chase, people started coming to us saying, hey, can we be on the podcast like that?
Yeah.
Which is a great feeling.
Yeah. What was funny about it is that I go up to Jake something and I'm like, or no, it wasn't Jake. It was Crane. I go up to Crane and I'm like, I feel like such a mark for asking you to do this. And he's like, no, I don't care. But how my favorite one, and I had to leave it in, he wanted to redo it. And I'm like, no, we're keeping it. Is Aaron going spot show, Spodcast? It's just so good.
Yeah, I stuttered. Shut up.
Yeah, I stuttered. Shut up. But yeah, no, thank you to everyone who provided and you're listening to for us. We're going to be getting more people in the future just to kind of spice it up. There is a Matt Maverick one that has not been used just because that one needs to sit on its own. So because that one's hilarious. And I don't want him to think that because of what he says in it is the reason that I'm not using it. It's just because for that one, it just needs to sit on.
That's got to be on a Weezer episode.
It's just got to be on its own. Hey, but before we get a little bit too far into this, I just want to remind everyone that the Spot Show podcast is brought to you by Elite Pro Wrestling, Sewer Layer Toys, and BurntBuds.com. But you know the drill. You're going to hear a little bit about them later. We got some important stuff to cover here because it has been quite a while since we talk every day, but it's been a while since we've had the microphones in front of us and gotten to talk turkey and talk shop. And again, I hate to be the cock tease, for lack of a better term, but there's a few things that we've talked about that we don't want to talk about yet because we aren't at a stage where I feel comfortable talking about this stuff yet because they have yet to progress past the hey, I have an idea stage.
But they're there.
They're there.
They're close.
So let's talk about something that is out there and something that is complete. And if you have not seen it, then I suggest that you pause the podcast, go check it out, and then come back because one of the subjects of this podcast, it's not the only one because, ooh, brother, you just wait. After those sponsor reads, I got a subject
we're going all board.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. Now You Know is out.
What's Now You Know, Dickie?
Well, I'm going to tell you so that you can say, now I know. No, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. It was just, it's this idea that I had randomly. I was sitting on my couch and I'm like, man, I want to make a video essay show because I'm a big fan of the video essay side of YouTube. And you see a lot of it in video games.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know what not necessarily edutainment, but kind of for lack of a better term. And I did that for a while. I was a video game YouTube content creator after I left wrestling the first time. And I've always had it in the back of my head that I've wanted to create content like that and continue to create content like that because that's where my passion truly is. Not to say that I'm not passionate about what I'm doing now, but this is just something that it's always been in the back of my mind. Man, you could have done a lot more with that.
Absolutely. I mean, everyone remembers Rocket Grunt Josh.
Oh, not as many people as I would like, but a few people.
That's all that counts.
Few people remember Rocket Grunt Josh. So I'm just sitting on the couch and I'm thinking, man, I want to do video essays about wrestling, which, spoiler alert, that's not an untapped market.
It's not?
No, God, no.
I thought you were so original.
I did too. But I said, and I think we've talked about this on here before, where nothing is original anymore.
No.
If you have an idea for something, it's already been done, and it's already been done better.
Yep.
So
except for MadBash, come on now.
Except for, because we were the first two friends that were like, we should buy microphones and make a podcast.
Absolutely.
That's what we should do.
I trademarked that shit.
We were the first one. Can you believe we're the first guys to ever think of that idea?
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's crazy.
Now everyone's out here jacking our shit.
How did we? I just can't believe how blessed we are with such creativity to be the first ones to think to do that.
I know, man. It's like we're from the future.
Who was the first podcast that you ever listened to?
Cole Cabana.
He wasn't the first for me. He was one of the first. The first podcast I ever listened to was the Nerdist podcast with Chris Hardwick.
Never listened to it.
It's not even around anymore. Which is sad. Is the Art of Wrestling still around? I think it is.
He doesn't do it as much.
But I think he's still doing stuff.
But I know he still does it like on the Jericho Cruise. He does like live show forms.
Yeah. Podcasts, I remember when that was like the Wild West, and like now you can't throw a rock without hitting someone that does a podcast.
Let's be honest, like 2015 and up, everyone had a fucking podcast.
Yeah. Ooh, perfect. That's like the perfect time when like podcasting became so accessible and like so easy to do.
Yeah.
And like so many people started doing it then. which, we're going to, no. I was about to go down a road that would get me in a lot of trouble. It will come out one day. But anyway.
Can today be that day?
No. So to get back on track, because we are sticklers for trying to stay on point.
Since when?
Since probably 20 seconds ago. I'm thinking in the back of my mind, I'm like, you know what? This has already been done. People have already done this. But just because people have already done it, that doesn't mean that you can't do it. Because if you look, nothing would get done.
No.
Nothing would get done if you just admitted defeat and were like, well, I guess that's already been done. And a good example of this is I had a buddy years ago who had an idea for something that someone had already, and then right before he was about to announce what he was doing, this person announced a project that was almost exactly like what he was wanting to do. And he just gave up on it. And I'm like, dude, come on. Like, just
here's the thing. Can't even speak yet. But if you're going to do something, you don't have to stop because it's been done before. Just be original, be yourself, and make it your own.
That's the point I was getting ready to make here, is that it's like, yeah, look, I know that I can't be original and make something fresh, because that's just not how it jives now. But what I can do is put a Dickie Wabash spin on it and do whatever. So I told this story, but I'll reiterate it for those that have not heard. I get up off my couch. I was watching TV or playing a game or something. I don't remember. And I walk in here to the studio and I film a pilot.
You're skipping a very important step.
Which was?
You text Mr. Madrox over here.
I did text you. This is
ran
true.
the idea by me, and then we came up with some topics.
This is true.
I did creation.
Yeah, I did forget that I ran the idea by you first. So yeah, so I text him and I'm like, look, here's what I got. And you're like, oh, here's some subject that we can do, yada, yada. So, and I knew I wanted to do it with EPW because EPW had come to us. We've told this story. And Steven was like, come up with ideas. What can we do to bring the product to the next level? So naturally, let's try to make more of a YouTube presence that's more than just the shows.
Yeah.
Granted, they have After the Bell, not trying to discredit that, but let's do more than just that. Let's drive people, get more eyes, the more unique product that you put out there. Again, be original, be unique, put your own spin on it. Every swingin' dick wrestling promotion worth their salt has a YouTube channel.
Yeah. Let me guess what's on it.
Just the matches.
Yep.
Just the matches, and probably a promo that one of the workers uploaded where he's filming it fucking portrait mode in his car. That's it. So I go to, that's where I had the idea. I was like, it's going to be easier to just do it and show them than it would be to explain it through text. Because I called you and I was like, brother, I got an idea. And I explained it to you and you're like, I'm all for it. So I filmed the pilot and I put a little quick edit together, and it wasn't even an edit. It was just
raw footage.
It was raw footage, and I had a pop-up. Here's where this would go. Here's where that would go. Here's where a cool little logo would go. Here's where this would go. They loved it. They absolutely loved it. And I said, okay, I have permission. Let's go forward with this. So then my next message was to Alan at Velocity Productions, who I'm going to bury the lead a little bit here and just get ahead before he fucking killed it.
Yeah, he did.
He killed it.
He's been killing everything he's been touching lately.
He is so fucking good. Alan is just, the reason I wanted to do it with Alan is not only because he's involved with EPW and he's the editing guy and I didn't want to step on his toes or whatever. He's a better editor than I am. I'm not terrible. I'm not good.
But you're not Alan level.
But I'm not Alan level. I'm not good. I'm not bad. I'm pretty simple. I can do some simple shit. But I knew that Alan could take it to the next level. So
Especially after that Jared Savage promo.
Oh my God.
Can we just talk about that for a second?
If you guys have not seen that, Face Collector Jared Savage on Facebook, find this promo that these two guys made. It's incredible. And if you are an indie worker, take fucking notes.
Absolutely.
It goes back to what we talked about on the first episode of this fucking podcast.
What's that, Dickie?
Character work.
You mean that's still not a thing?
I don't know how it can't be at this point, to be honest with you. I really don't. So anyway, get a hold of him, and he, without even watching it, because I told him what it was, he said, yeah, we're doing this. He said, I have wanted to make content like this for a while. Boom, here you go, brother. Here's your opportunity. I said, this is our show. Said, I'll write the script. Don't worry about it. You can have some input, obviously. I'll write what I want you to edit in. And if you have any edits in mind, go ahead, take your liberty. Just run it by me. I'll run shit by you. You run shit by me. The brother over here helped me write a few things for it too.
I'm more off hands on this one.
Yeah.
This is your baby.
It really is. It really is. And it's cool because it's the first MadBash product outside of Spot Show. Yeah. Yeah. So it's just cool to see growth from us.
Well, on
and
the commentary thing, so it's technically number 3.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. I guess I should consider our commentary as one of our...
Because speaking of our commentary, we're a pretty big fucking deal.
So I start writing the script, right? And one thing that we have been told, and that I know that has been going on behind the scenes in EPW, is they want to make, how do I put this? Not necessarily put more of a spotlight on it, but shed more light on the Odyssey of the Elite Championship.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm like, okay, then this first episode is going to be about the Odyssey of the Elite Championship. Oh, so I kind of want to go back a little bit because I did kind of miss a little bit. The name, Terry came up with the name, Terry Hopper, the referee. Was it Terry that came up with it? Or was it you?
It was me.
What did Terry contribute? Terry contributed something that was really clever. Oh, I think he was the one that recommended it be about the title. Wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, Terry was the one that, okay, I got mixed up. Because, yeah, Terry was the one that said you should make the first, oh no, I almost spoiled what a future one's going to be because Terry contributed an idea for a future episode that hasn't even been pinned to paper yet. That's going to be actually a pretty good one.
Because the Now You Know name came from me thinking about the old TV show Figure It Out.
Yeah, that's right. And then Terry was like, hey, you should use this to talk about the Odyssey title and we can use it to, so shout out to Terry for giving me my first subject. That props to you for that one.
Yeah.
And so I start writing the script and I knew, see, I have to, I'm in a weird headspace right now because at the time of this recording, the episode is not out yet. So I'm in my mind, I'm trying to keep kayfabe about, but it's
coming out the same day.
But this comes out the same day. So I have to put myself in the future. So I knew going into it, I told Alan, I said, my goal with every script and subject of this show is I want to start each script with, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Like, why, what does this have to do
with anything?
With anything, not even just wrestling. So I had it in my head because the whole basis of the episode, obviously, is not only the Odyssey of the Elite title, but about the importance of surprise in wrestling, which that's what makes the Odyssey of the Elite Championship is the surprise factor. But you also need the Odyssey of the Elite title for the surprise, but you need the surprise for
There's
the Odyssey.
so many layers.
So
to this
it all layered in just perfect. So I was like, okay, surprise. When I was a kid, I loved Christmas morning because of the surprise. Oh, there you go. Let's compare a wrestling show to Christmas morning. And so I just start talking about Christmas morning, and not to toot my own horn, but I feel I wrap it up pretty well. Pun intended there, wrap it up, Christmas. But I think my favorite thing that I say in the episode is I refer to Clayton Clark as the Grinch. I said that no good Grinch Clayton Clark stole Christmas. But I'm very happy with the episode. I'm very proud of it. Now, again, not to time this, but there has been one edit that has been made to it that I have not seen. Apparently, the background music has been changed because Steven didn't like the original one that we had, which I was kind of indifferent to it. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. But he suggested that we change the background music, and I have not heard the new background music. The one that premiered today is the one with the new background music. So hopefully
I didn't
it's
even
good.
know about this.
I'm breaking it. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Because I talked to Alan a few days ago and I was like, is it ready to roll? And he's like, yeah, I got to make one edit. And here's what's really funny about this is that he sent me the first edit. And this is why you need multiple eyes on things. I'm not faulting Alan. I just want to preface I'm not faulting Alan for this because I would do the exact same thing. This is why you need multiple eyes on things. There's literally a part where I'm reading and I go, I fucked that line up. And he forgot to cut that part out. But that's why I think that I made the right choice with him being the one to do the editing because he sees things that I don't see and I see things that he doesn't see. So works out great.
Yeah, it's great having a dynamic like that pays off. Like me and you have that dynamic. Both of us and Alan have that dynamic where we just go off each other and make everyone better.
Yeah, and I even put in the script, I was like, my nameplate that pops up, I wrote in the script, I was like, just put something funny under my name. I don't care what it is. And the best edit in that entire video, there's 2 edits in that video that Alan knocked it out of the fucking park. Not to discredit but there's 2 specifically that are fucking incredible. The first one pops me so much is when I make the Sopranos, or not Sopranos, the Goodfellas joke, and then it cuts to, I thought you said you were all, I am all right, you ain't all right. Just the way he snap cut, that was so funny. But the part where at the end I'm talking about the importance of the men and women, he's showing the highlights of the wrestling. Like that edit was just so smooth on his part. Like he did such a good job.
Like everything he's been doing smooth goes all back to it. Like,
yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. He's just so crisp at what he does. And, you know, like I said, there were a couple of things that he missed, but that's just operator error. That's just human nature.
Human nature.
Yeah. I've had that happen to me when I was doing Rocket Grunt and Josh. I just didn't have the second set of eyes on it.
But you know what? Mm-hmm. If you sent this out to any other editor and they missed that, they'd leave it in there. They wouldn't care.
They wouldn't care. I would just say, hey, man, you missed me, because we're PG at EPW. So I'm like, I'm sure they wouldn't like me going, I fucked that line up.
Yeah.
But no, man, I'm trying to think of if I covered everything that I wanted to cover about it. But dude, I could go for another week talking about just how special it was. The script writing process killed me because I got hit with severe writer's block there towards the end. My problem that I've always found with script writing is finding a conclusion and finding an ending and finding a way to put that bow on it. And
it's hard as shit to find an ending because you can keep going and going and going.
Exactly. And I think I did an okay job with this. You know, and there were a couple of things like on my end that I feel could have gone better. Like I needed to make it not look so obvious that I kept looking at the script. I didn't give Alan good cut points, I feel like, but he worked with it. And
my biggest pet peeve is that damn mic stand.
Funny thing about that. So I don't know if the audio corrupted or if he was just having a hard time with the sync. We'll definitely work on it. That's not that mic audio. That's the camera audio. And I told him, I was like, because one of my biggest fucking pet peeves in independent wrestling is when they're doing a backstage interview and they're talking into a fucking microphone that's not even plugged in. And you can tell that it's not plugged in because it's picking up room audio.
Yep.
Because the point is, when you talk into a microphone, you're supposed to be able to tell whenever you pass by a microphone. You're supposed to be able to no, like it's not omnidirectional. Like it's just, oh my God. So that is one thing that bugs me. And I thought the audio sounded fine. I thought it sounded fine. It was a little tinny, but so maybe for next time I won't even bother hooking up this mic or whatever.
Maybe we get a better mic attachment for the camera.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, here's another thing too, is that you got to take this into consideration. First of all, we have no idea what the fuck we're doing. And secondly, this is just trial by fire with all of this. And secondly, I mean, we're just getting started. I mean, we are just doing.
But we're blowing up.
We are blowing up. But yeah, if you have not seen Now You Know, then you just wasted your time listening to this. You need to watch Now You Know before you listen to this one.
Well, maybe they listen to this and now they're all excited for Now You Know.
Or that as well. It's over on the EPW YouTube channel. We're also obviously going to be posting it on our Facebook. Sure, it'll be on the EPW Facebook. I'm sure that it will be.
We're going to put it on our YouTube channel too as well, right?
Maybe after the first season is over. Because I have some plans. That, yeah.
We'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about it, brother. I will give this little teaser, though. I'm going to give two teasers. The second episode script, which you have not read yet.
No.
I'm going to let you read it when we're done recording this.
Okay.
It blows the first script out of the water.
That's how it should be with every episode, though.
It should. Do I say the subject?
No, keep it a surprise.
Keep the subject as okay.
Keep it a surprise.
I'll
We
keep
don't
it a
want to give them
surprise.
too much.
The subject is good.
Because, I mean, after our ad reads, we got some more big news that we could talk about as well.
Yeah, we do.
For them to sink their teeth into.
Yeah. But the second thing I will give you, Alan is holding on to the bloopers. There will be a blooper reel at some point.
I can't wait for that.
There's a couple that are just in this first one. Like, I think he's going to wait until the season is done. As of right now, the season we're planning, I think is going to be 6 episodes, maybe. We'll see. I've already trimmed
When
out.
are they dropping? Like once a month or?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know. I gotta talk with EPW and see what they would like to have happen. Probably once a month. Yeah, because the script for the second one is probably 3/4 of the way done as of this recording.
It'll be finished by the night once we read it.
Probably. But just what, like I took one subject that was supposed to be its own episode and combine it with what the second one is, the subject of the second one.
I think I know the subject now.
You should, yeah. But I don't know. That's a very good question. I don't know. In a perfect world, monthly, but we'll see, I guess. And I know that this is not how you're supposed to do the YouTube thing. Like, you're supposed to have a set schedule. I don't think there's going to be one. I think it's just going to be whenever they're done, they're done. And
like random surprise drops.
Pretty much. But I'll just say this. I'm going to propose, and I think they're going to do this. I think that they're going to play them before shows as well. I think that was something that we talked about. If not, hey, we're playing them before shows. I'm putting it down right now.
We should do a live podcast before a show one day.
Oh, why'd you have to say that on mic?
Because I had to.
Damn, that would not be a terrible idea. That's a good one.
Fun idea.
That would.
Set it up in the middle of the ring.
Keep that one. Keep that one in the back of your head. Anyway, thank you to EPW. Thank you to Alan and Velocity Productions. You did an incredible job, and I knew, again, I just knew that was the right choice to make, because I just look at some of those edits and I'm like, I could have done it, but not as crisp. And like I was saying, I mean, there's a few things I'm a little bit meh about. Like, I think that some of the writing could have been a little bit better. Some of my delivery could have been a little bit better.
But that's because we're so hard on each other from the get-go, because we always know we can do better.
I am waiting for the other shoe to drop, because I'm like, man, and it's just, it's my own thing, like you said, we're our own worst critic, because it's just like, are we really this? I don't want to sound like I got an ego, but it's just like, are we really this good? Like,
it's not even just like, are we really this good? It's just, are we actually doing this right?
And that's a better way to put it. Like, are we even doing what we're supposed to be doing? Like, this is just so bizarre. But yeah, I'm very happy with Now You Know. I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover with Now You Know specifically. To talk about the future of it, there is going to be a few format changes with the second one going forward. I'm actually going to talk with a few wrestlers.
See, I mean, don't even worry about saying changes, because they got to look at it like this. That first episode, that's the pilot.
It is the pilot.
It's just like any other TV show. Like, everything from here is going to get better. It's going to be greater than the last one, and hopefully more entertaining. Yeah. Because if you get stale, I'm going to pull the rug out from underneath you right there. Oh, dude.
Going stale is like one of my biggest fears. But yeah, going forward, I'm really happy with it. And like I said, that's my goal with them, is that I want to start out, and not even necessarily start out with it, but I want to say something in the episode that makes you go, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
That's every podcast.
It is every podcast pretty much. But I make a point in the second episode that people, I guarantee, are going to be like, there is no fucking way. And then once I explain the point, I feel like people are going to go,
it all makes sense now.
Dickie Wabash is either a mad genius or he is psychotic. And I'm both. But you know what? We ain't done. We aren't done, because Madrox, I have a great topic that I thought of while I was on my vacation that we are going to talk about after we hear a word from our lovely sponsors.
Save me.
This episode of the Spot Show podcast is powered by Sewer Layer Toys, located at 3197 South 3rd Place in Terre Haute, Indiana. Guys, let me tell you one thing about Sewer Layer Toys, right? You're going to walk in, you're going to see a bunch of stuff that you want to buy, and you're going to be thinking to yourself, man, do I really want to buy this? Do I really need this stuff? Well, yeah, you do. You're going to walk in there, you're going to see a plethora, an endless amount of vintage toys, of retro toys, of modern toys, of that toy that maybe you had as a kid and you vaguely remember it. You're going to see it there, very fairly priced. Listen, I go in there and I love it. I get most of my collectibles there. Same goes for Madrox. We love these guys. Go in there, tell them the Spot Show podcast sent you, just so that I can prove to Scott that people are actually listening to us and that we are actually worth tying our name to them. I'm joking, of course. Listen, Scott and Andrew are two great guys. They run a really, really good store located in Terre Haute. Again, if you go to 3197 South 3rd Place, that is behind the mall in Terre Haute, Indiana, go in there to Sewer Layer Toys. You are going to find some really, really good stuff. This episode of the Spot Show podcast is also brought to you by Elite Pro Wrestling. Listen, I'm going to tell you one thing about Elite Pro Wrestling right now, right? I'm going to get a little bit personal about it for a minute, right? Elite Pro Wrestling made me love pro wrestling again. They put on an incredible product. If you want to see what Elite Pro Wrestling has going on, you can go to facebook.com/EPW Elite. There you are going to find a list of upcoming shows. You're going to find videos from past shows. You are going to find everything that you need to know about Elite Pro Wrestling. If you are in the area of Odin, Indiana, or sometimes Washington, Indiana, then you are going to want to check out Elite Pro Wrestling. Some of the best pro wrestling in the state of Indiana, and I truly, truly mean that. So again, go to facebook.com/EPW Elite for everything that you need to know about Elite Pro Wrestling. This episode of the Spot Show podcast is also brought to you by BurntBuds.com. You can check out Burnt Buds for all your cannabis-inspired clothing, jewelry, and accessories, and guess what? You can know that you're doing good. Burnt Buds has non-binary sizing up to 4XL, and here's the best part of all, 1% of all Burnt Buds profit goes to charities such as the Last Prisoner Project and the Trevor Project. Cannabis not your thing? Well, I got good news for you. Burnt Buds also has a variety of humor, Rasta, and LGBTQ plus themed clothing and jewelry. But I'm going to sweeten the deal here a little bit for you. If you go on over to burntbuds.com and use our promo code SPOTSHOW10, you are going to get 10% off your entire purchase. Again, that is Spot Show, the number 10, for 10% off your purchase at burntbuds.com. That is BURNTBUDZ.com. You can also check them out on Facebook at Burnt Buds. Check them out on Instagram at burnt_buds. Again, go to burntbuds.com, promo code SPOTSHOW10 for 10% off your entire purchase. Now, Josh, can I just say, this is something that I wanted
Please don't say anymore.
No.
I know what's coming.
No, you don't know what's coming, because I just thought of this, and I wanted to bring this up at the top of the show, but I forgot about it. Do you understand how much professional wrestling has ruined my life? Listen. I'm on this vacation, right? I'm on this lovely cruise with my family, 8-day cruise. And we go, two of the ports were the Dominican Republic. And I told Clayton Clark, I said, I couldn't even enjoy my time at these ports because I was just laughing the whole time. Because I was thinking of Cecil Cerveza.
I mean, that's pretty sad,
Dude,
but it's fucking hilarious.
Did I
Did you get poor Cecil a keychain?
Did I send you the picture of the smokestacks?
Yes.
And I said that's the factory where Granddaddy Jose Cerveza was. Oh my God, dude, it was. I don't know why. It was just so funny to just be like, we're going to the Dominican Republic. And I can't even.
I apologize for this. Apparently, Dickie's on drugs.
Oh my God. But, oh man, it was just, we're coming into port and I see these smokestacks and I take a picture and I sent it to you and I sent it to Clayton. And I said, this is the factory where Granddaddy Jose Cerveza worked so that he could provide a bright future for his grandson. And then I took a picture. There was a ball field that you could see from the cruise ship. I took a picture of it and I said, this is where a young Cecil Cerveza played second base for the Dominican Dodgers. Oh, Cecil, I love you. I legit none of this. None of this is malicious. None of this is malicious. It's just, there's just certain things that you are always going to associate with certain people now. And the first time I met Cecil Cerveza is when I was ring announcing, and he comes up to me and I ask him where he wants to be billed from. And he asked, is there a barrio in the Dominican Republic? And so ever since, and then obviously he's billed from the Dominican Republic. So it just, oh my God. Like,
You just ruined kayfabe right there, brother.
oh my God. Well, what was it I said that I wanted them to start being billed from Danville, DR? Anyway, I just thought of that between the break where I wanted to bring that up that I couldn't even enjoy my time because I was just laughing. But anyway, yeah, that's why we didn't have a podcast 2 weeks ago, is because I was on vacation. And plus, we just took a break.
Visiting the homeland of Cecil Cerveza.
Yeah, the old stomping grounds, if you will. Listen, we're going to cover this real quick because we've talked about this a little bit. So, but I just want to drive it home, and then we're going to get into this topic because I think this is a really fun topic.
Okay.
We've talked about West Tea Fest, how we are doing this street festival for in West Terre Haute, which is our hometown. And we officially announced that we are having Dalton Davis is going to be there with us.
The Bud Light Brawler.
The Bud Light Brawler. And
Hybrid Championship Wrestling.
Yeah, they're going to be there in some capacity. And we have a couple other things that we're working on that we don't want to say just yet. Because they're not locked in. They're not locked in yet, but one of them is probably 90% locked in. The other one is probably 50% locked in. I talked to the person and they were like, something about that date is sticking with me. And I feel like I'm busy that day, but I can't remember. And then the other one, I'm excited for all of it, but there is one that was one of our first choices that he originally was like, I would love to, but just wait until we drop that one. But let's also drop this announcement too. Speaking of Dalton Davis, I don't know when it's going to be lined up, but the old brawler himself, he's going to be a guest on this podski.
Oh God.
He was originally, we haven't recorded the episode yet, but he's definitely on the books. We were supposed to record this podcast and then record with him, but I came back from that vacation sick. Here's another thing we need to talk about. Is it normal that I have been as sick as I've been? Because I have been sick.
You're talking to a guy that almost died 6 times while being in a hospital.
Well, you're an expert. That's why I'm coming to you. Dude, can you pick a month
where you haven't been sick?
Where I've not been sick?
January,
I think January and February, I was not sick.
No, February started to get a sore throat.
That's true. March was the infamous podcast. I apologize to the audio. Oh, that's bad. Then I got sick right before
Canada.
Right, I got sick in Canada. And I got, what do you want? We got Logan Madrox here. It looks like he's trying to bring his dad's phone. His dad's phone was ringing.
Oh, man.
Come in here, Logan. Come in here,
Logan.
Come in here.
Get over there.
Get over here. Old Uncle Dickie will hold the mic.
We got a special guest here.
We got it. This man has been wanting to get on the podcast for a while. Logan Madrox, what's up, man?
What's up?
Go ahead.
What do you mean? I don't know what to talk about. This is your show, not mine.
Hey, you're the one that said that you wanted to be on the podcast.
If you're going to claim the Madrox name, you walk in and make anything yours.
Cool wrestling. I don't know. It's you didn't tell me what to say.
Well, first of all, you don't want to move around the microphone like this whenever you're talking, brother.
Well, you didn't plan this. It just kind of happened. I don't know.
We caught him way off guard.
I wanted to, though, because he was talking a big game earlier. He's like, so when are you guys going to have me on the podcast? And I'm like, are you actually going to be able to be on the podcast, or are you going to stutter and stammer? Oh, I'm not going to stutter and stammer.
But guess what he's doing?
Well, I wasn't really prepared, so I don't know how you can say that when I wasn't prepared and I just walked in and it kind of happened.
You've listened to our podcast, son. Are we ever prepared for anything?
Nah, not really.
Point proven exactly. So, all right, go ahead and get out of here, brother. Here's what I love about Logan is just putting him, because I knew that that's what was going to happen. So that's why I did it. And he is going to like pretend like he's all mad and everything, but he loves it.
He does.
But anyway, back to this whole sick thing. I don't think it's normal to be like really bad sick once a month. And I've been sick once.
I told you the other day, get your ass to the doctor. What did you say?
I have an appointment in August. It's my year checkup.
August.
Doesn't matter. I'm fine, brother. Just pump me with that Dayquil and NyQuil. Let's go.
Something's off.
Something is definitely off. I just hope that, like, because my mom has a notoriously bad immune system. And my immune system has never been really bad, but it's just like, man.
It says the older you get, the sicker you're becoming.
You gotta think, I was sick right before hybrid.
Maybe you're just sick of this wrestling shit.
Maybe I am.
Maybe you're allergic to all the bullshit.
I don't know. But anyway, point being, we were supposed to record with Dalton, but we weren't able to get around to doing that. But he is coming up. That is a podski that is happening. He wants so badly to be on, and we're like, let's make it work. There are so many people that want to be on, and I swear we're trying to get to all of you, but the scheduling is being a bitch. My sickness is being a bitch.
Vacations are being a bitch. Hospital stays are being a bitch.
Oh, I know. How dare I take a vacation, and how dare you almost die. But anyway, so yeah, that's West Tea Fest, man. I'm fucking excited. I'm fucking stoked because we like I said, we're from West Terre Haute, 2 kids from West Terre Haute who just had $1 and a dream basically, and now
Isn't it weird that we're giving back to our community?
Isn't it weird that we're just giving back in general?
Well, no, because we've always been guys like that, but it just feels so weird.
Well, no, I'm just talking in the general.
Like, you remember high school? Like,
oh fuck yeah,
the people come back and be like, "Yeah, I was from here, blah blah blah, many years ago, and I went on to do this and this, and now we're in that position."
Yeah. We
haven't made it till we give a speech at the high school, though.
No, we haven't made it, and well, that's one. But I want to be a distinguished alumni at our high school.
I want a banner in the gym.
The MadBash Green Dome.
Yeah.
We'll rename it. Anyway, so let's get into this topic because I think this is a really, really fun topic. I think you're really, really going to enjoy it. So, it would appear as though the trend in superheroes lately is the multiverse. You know, you had Across the Spider-Verse. Ant-Man Quantumania kind of dealt with it a little bit because of Kang the Conqueror. The Flash dealt with the multiverse a little bit. We are literally in the multiverse saga with the MCU. So here's my question to you, Madrox. If you had access to the multiverse, let's just use Kang the Conqueror as the example because he's the big bad of the MCU right now. He has the Council of Kangs. All of that. If you had access to the multiverse like Kang the Conqueror, what's your goal? Like, what is your thing?
Oh, dude, we'd be starting MadBash back with the flip cameras. We'd be taking over YouTube and podcasts before they even became big.
But see, you're talking about time traveling there, though.
That's still... That version of Madrox and Dickie would be set then.
Yeah, so you're saying that there would be a version in the multiverse where we are still in high school and you go to us and you're like, listen, we need to...
Absolutely. Whatever makes the other versions of me better than where I am right now, let's do it.
So my understanding of this, forgive me if I'm putting words in your mouth here, you would essentially make the Council of Madrox and like be sure that you could all band together to...
Hell yeah.
To like be sure that...
The Army of One, baby.
All for one, one for all.
Yeah. Wouldn't you, though?
Here's
Oh God, here comes the
here's
laughter
what's
again.
bad about this. I shouldn't laugh. This just goes to show you the type of people that we are. Oh, this is terrible. I don't even know if I want to say this. You wouldn't go to a multiverse where you would be able to hug your mother one more time?
Hell no.
Oh, God. But see, that's what causes all the trouble. I know you haven't seen it yet, but that's what causes all the all the trouble in Flash, is because he wants to go to a universe where his mom is still alive. And he time travels and fucks all the shit up.
See, like, I'm a firm believer, though, like, I'm the person who I am because of what's happened.
No, 100%. I agree.
So, like, why would I want to fuck that up? You know what I mean?
No, I agree. So, one thing you're going to learn about Dickie Wabash is that he's very good about proposing a question but never having a really good answer.
Absolutely.
But, so, I wouldn't necessarily make a council of Dickies. But
one that just sounds wrong.
It would. What I would do is, you've seen Loki, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like I would be Kang the Conqueror in Loki, where he's he who remains, and he's at the end of the sacred timeline, and he's being sure that everything falls into place. Because I'm such a masochist, and like, I would want to like be sure. Okay, so Spider-Verse. Spoiler for Spider-Verse if you've not seen. I know you haven't seen it, but you really don't care. The whole point of Spider-Verse is that there's these things called canon events that happen. And when these canon events don't happen, that's what causes the multiverse to split. Uncle Ben dying, Captain Stacy dying, Gwen Stacy, so like that. These are canon events that across all the different Peter Parker timelines, these always have to happen, or it causes a splinter effect to happen. So I feel like that what I would do is, because you got to think about it, it would be an endless circle. Time is an endless circle. I feel like what I would do, I would get there and I would be like, okay, how can I improve upon these canon events to make them go the opposite way so that we can try to build the best version of Dickie Wabash that we absolutely can? And then what I would do is I would build that reality where this Dickie Wabash is living his best life. And then I would go kill him and then live his life.
Can I just say I apologize to the world of how biggest pieces of shit we are. We're like, at no point we're like, let's better the outcome for the rest of the world. Like, no world hunger, no war, no nothing. We're like, fuck that. It's all about us.
There's this old joke, and I don't even know if it's a joke. I think it was an old stand-up. It was a bit a stand-up comedian had, where it's like, here's how I know that time travel isn't real. Hitler never gave a speech about how whenever he was a baby, a bunch of people were trying to kill him. But that's what I would do. I would like try to make the sacred timeline and make it perfect and just pluck little things, oh, maybe Dickie Wabash should have made this decision, or maybe he shouldn't have made this decision.
Maybe Dickie Wabash shouldn't have the long hair.
Maybe Dickie Wabash shouldn't decide, hey, let's rock the skullet. Maybe Dickie Wabash shouldn't do this or that or whatever, blah, blah. And then I build that reality where that Dickie Wabash is living the absolute best life that he can. I swoop in, I kill that Dickie, and then I live in that reality. Boom. And he would be none the wiser.
But how could you do that? Because you're from a different reality and you know what's wrong.
So here's what I do. And see, you ask this question and
you don't have a damn answer.
No, I absolutely do. You think I have not thought of this? Either I have had this in the barrel or I just thought of this 5 seconds ago and I'm just talking shit. So here's what I do. This reality, right? This is the simple reality. There is one simple thing that I do, is that I try to create a way where All Dickie Wabash has to do is hear one simple key word, and then he dies. And it's a word that has never been existed, that never been existed. Good English there, Dickie. That doesn't exist. A word that no one would ever even think of saying. But when he says that word, it makes him fall over. So here's what I do.
What would be your word?
Scrittabobble.
One more time for the people in the back.
Scrittabobble. Scrittabobble. Because how many people are you can you think of that would say the word scrittabobble? So here's what we do, right?
Give it a week.
Because
say it.
Because I have this almighty Kang the Conqueror style control, I create a universe where no other person can say the word scrinabobum. But in that reality, Dickie Wabash dies when he hears the word scrinabobum. So what I do, but you got to think about it. Now, hang on. I know what you're getting ready to say here, I think, so just shut up. You're thinking, but wait a minute. You're Dickie Wabash. What's going to happen if you go into that universe and then you hear scrinabobum? You put in...
Close.
You hear... Okay, go ahead then.
You're Dickie Wabash. You have to say that damn word, you Dickie Wabash. Like, what the fuck?
That's why I put on noise-canceling headphones.
But you'd still hear it in your head.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah,
no,
you would.
Wouldn't. Don't try to put a fucking don't because
no,
this is a
fault.
This is a foolproof plan. This is a
Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen tried this at some point. It fucking failed.
Yeah,
I
probably
Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen
probably have it on VHS.
It did on the shitty PlayStation 1 games.
So there is a way that it would hear. Have you ever really tried to, when you have true noise canceling headphones on, you cannot hear even if you are talking. That's why people scream when they're got headphones in.
You still hear it in your head.
No, there's a difference between hearing in your head and hearing with your ears.
It's all the same thing.
It is not, though. But
you want to try this?
You walk
in.
Go
to your fucking universe and try this right now.
If you think maybe this is the universe, maybe this is happening. Maybe I am the Dickie Wabash that is going to die from this. I don't know. Is this immoral? Probably. But they would be none the wiser because, like Thanos says, you cannot truly accept what is if you remember what was.
But if one Dickie Wabash died, wouldn't that affect the other Dickie Wabashes into death?
No, because it's the multiverse, and the multiverse is endless. You're getting time travel and the multiverse confused.
I'm mixing everything.
You're mixing
together.
up time travel and the multiverse. Because my first thing was, what would you do? And you're like, well, I would tell... No, I'm not talking about past us. I'm talking about, this is the multiverse. You can literally...
I would end world hunger because I'm such a sweetheart.
So you would try to build a reality where there's no world hunger.
No, I'm fucking lying.
Oh, I knew you would be. But see, here's the other thing too, is that like I said, I am laying the groundwork in this reality for Dickie Wabash to live his best life. And so I'm giving myself the tools, essentially. How sad is this when I can just help myself in my current reality? But no, I have to make up this whole big What are we even doing here? So
I feel like I'm in a multiverse now.
Probably. It's just a never-ending loop. So yeah, that's what I would do. I would legitimately, I would build a universe. It's not even just give myself the tools where I am able to succeed.
You would line every fucking stone and step up.
And I would spend years making this happen. But here's the key. I'm at the end of the timeline. I'm at the end of time making this happen. I'm not aging a single fucking second. But what would probably happen...
It's too late for that, Dickie.
What would probably happen is it would be like that fucking Twilight Zone episode where the guy's like, finally, I can read all these books. And then his glasses falls. And he's like, no, it's not fair. But no, excuse me, that's exactly what I would do. Not only would I put myself in a position where all these things that happen, I would build the universe down to the exact molecule where everything is able to work out for me positively.
Well, let's get more into the Dickie verse here.
Yeah.
Who would Dickie be dating?
That's a good question. I feel like the easy answer is probably Scarlett Johansson, because I just watched Jojo Rabbit, and Jesus Christ. There's a few options because you got to think about it. It's limitless. It would probably, because like I feel like every man would say Scarlett Johansson, because like she's like, I feel like the pinnacle of what men consider attractive or whatever. So yeah, it would probably be Scarlett Johansson. But here's the kicker. I would have to organize it to where we're still in a universe where the MCU is still happening and where she is still very super famous and she never met Colin Jost. Because, look, I'm a funny guy, but I'm not Colin Jost funny. I'm not Weekend Update funny. But it would...
I just gave you a lot of more work.
But here's the thing. When you're at the end of the timeline... you have all the time in the world. And I'm not aging because I'm at the end of the timeline.
That's true.
But here's the real thing.
But wouldn't you spend eternity like just making sure all this would happen to fall in place?
Because that's what I'm saying. Well, that's eternity. That's the point. And then once I get to a certain age, then I still have access to the multiverse. Like, don't think that I don't. I still have access to the multiverse throughout all of this. So if there's a little thing that needs changed, I can be like, okay, well, whoop, well, there we go. But if I get to like, say I get to like 70 or 80 or whatever, I still have access to the multiverse. So here's what I do. I find a universe where somewhere out there in the multiverse, there is a society where you take a pill, it decreases your age 50 years. So then I just go to that universe and it's just boom, 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 boom. And then you just copy and paste and I get to live. And then it's like, you know what? This time I'm marrying Scarlett Johansson. Maybe this time I'm going to marry Becky Lynch, or maybe I'm going to do this or whatever, you know?
So you're playing your cards. You ain't believing in the soulmate of the multiverse.
Absolutely. That's what, and that just really, this whole thing goes to show you, if you really break this down, how truly sad and fucking lonely Dickie Wabash is, that he is willing to collapse the multiverse.
Dickie's multiverse is just like a blockbuster VHR tape. Rewind, rewatch, change the ending.
But is that not, it's literally, it's Doctor Strange. Dormammu, I've come to bargain. Well, that one didn't work. Dormammu, I've come to bargain. But yeah. Now, what the things are that would fall perfectly, that I would need to make fall perfectly into place, I'm not at liberty to say. I am not at liberty to say. And a lot of you are probably sitting back right now thinking, Dickie, you're a monster. You would kill that version of yourself. Look, I would be fair. I would let him live to a certain point where maybe the connection with Scarlett Johansson has started and maybe they're engaged or whatever. So I would let him get to experience the first taste of love and then I would rob it from him. So I'm a fucking monster is what I'm getting.
And on that note, thank you sponsors for ending your contracts.
I'm so fucking sick. I have flu brain still. And here's the scary part of all of it. All of this is just coming off the top of my head. I did not plan any of this.
Just the subject matter.
It's just the subject matter, dude. So, yeah. So, that's basically what I would do if I had access to the multiverse.
Can we just talk about your ego here for a minute?
You don't even want to go there. But here's the other thing, too. You think that I wouldn't try to work this where you still have both feet?
Why the fuck would you do that?
Because this is the perfect Dickie Wabash timeline where everything is perfect for Dickie Wabash. And if everything is perfect for the brothers, then everything is perfect for Dickie Wabash. I'm not completely selfish. Like, you know, I would obviously try to tweak the universe in ways where certain things wouldn't happen to certain
If you could
people.
only pick 5 people in your perfect multiverse you could help out, who would they be?
Only 5 people.
Only 5.
Oh, wow.
And they can't be family.
Can't be family.
No.
Wow.
Uncle Ben syndrome there, buddy.
Yeah. You, Travis. Let's go with Scarlett Johansson. No. Man, that is a tough one because this is almost like that whole you push a button and someone dies, but you get $1 million sort of thing. I don't know, man.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
No, take away Scarlett Johansson because, so you still have 3 fingers up though. These 2. I just said you and Travis.
This is how many you got left. I'm counting.
Oh, how many I have left? Okay. Perfect Dickie Wabash universe. That would mean that Sandman would need the perfect experience to become a world heavyweight champion. So Hack would get a perfect life. Let's see who else here. James Gandolfini, because I don't want him to die young, because I want more James Gandolfini movies. Still getting selfish. And I really want to say my mom, but I can't because
can't say family.
Man. Who would be my... you, Travis, Sandman, James Gandolfini, and... I don't know who that 5th one would be. I think the 5th one would just be a wild card for like of who I just in the moment I would, because I think I would go into it with those 4 people in mind and then say a 5th one just kind of pops up because then you've already used all 5. Like, oh, fuck, I've already used all 5. So I think that might be a cop-out answer, but I really think that the 5th one would be a wild card.
Think so?
Yeah.
Surprised you didn't pick like the lead singer of Weezer.
Rivers is already living the best life that he could be living right now.
Or Stanley.
Well, Stan Lee lived a pretty good life.
Towards the end.
Apparently not towards the end. Apparently he was really mistreated towards the end.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. There's that new documentary on Disney Plus that like whitewashes Stan Lee's story and like doesn't talk about like some of the shitty things that he actually did, like him stealing like intellectual property from Steve Ditko.
Well, it's Disney. Come on now.
Oh, well, they have to, yeah. But it's weird because that documentary sure doesn't cover the late 70s up until probably the middle 2000s when he came back. They didn't talk about Stripperella, surprisingly, which was crazy. But, man, yeah. So now that you all have learned how truly unhinged of a human being I am, I really did just, like, I would be not even a Batman villain because Batman villains are kind of grounded more, but I feel like that's definitely, I just described a super villain's motive right there. I described Kang the Conqueror because Kang the Conqueror, like that's his whole goal is to build the perfect universe.
Kang the Conqueror mixed with, I don't even know who, because you got more egotistical than Kang.
Yeah. There's a little bit of Riddler in there too, because like I'm being a super genius about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man. I'm fucking tapped out, brother. That one took a lot out of me. I hope that you all enjoyed this. Yeah, outside of the multiverse stuff where I just completely lost my mind, the one thing I want you to take away from this, go check out Now You Know. Now You Know is out. It is good. It is really, really good. When you're there, please be sure to give it a like, Ski, and please be sure that you subscribe to the EPW channel. Click that bell. Stay tuned there because MadBash is not done with EPW by any stretch of the imagination, and we're just getting started with other places. So be on the lookout, guys. This meteoric rise is continuing until we get canceled for me talking about how I want to kill.
Oh my God, Dickie.
What?
We didn't even talk about this Saturday.
What about it?
EPW.
Oh,
Long
yeah.
Live Evil.
Oh my God, there's just so much to talk about. There's just so much to talk about.
MadBash in their first music video, damn it.
Yeah, that is pretty dope. That is pretty dope. How did we forget to talk about that? How did I just forget about it?
The fucking Dickie from the multiverse just fucked everything up.
Yeah, so we're definitely not in the right multiverse. Yeah, man. More information on that, just go over to the EPW Facebook page. And you'll find or go to Long Live Evils or go to where I think Jared Savage has posted a lot about it.
It's all over, man. But
shout out to the Zooligans.
This Saturday, live music video shoot before the show.
Yeah, and it's going to be
featuring AXE and super fun famous time guys.
It's going to be dope. It's going to be really, really dope. Here's my weird mindset, because I'm dressing differently than I normally do for shows, because it's the summer show, so I'm dressing like kind of summered out. I'm like, man, I probably want to bring my actual Dickie Wabash get up so that it's evergreen, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah, I get that. I'm bringing it.
Ooh, I want to get a grass skirt and a coconut bikini.
That would be good. That would be good. But yeah, I'm glad that you, like, this always happens, is that I'm doing the wrap up and then you remember something and it's like, fuck, we should have spent, I mean, we pretty much covered it. I wish we would have spent had a little bit more time, but.
Well, next episode we could talk about it.
We will.
Maybe not next episode, but further down the line we'll talk about it.
After it happens, we'll definitely talk about it because of the way that we record these and whatnot. So, you can check me out on Instagram at attaboydickie, Madrox at Madrox_BSB. Listen, guys, I'm telling you right now, give us those 5-star reviews. Please subscribe to the podcast. Share us with a friend that you would think that would enjoy this podcast. Please, we say this all the time and you are probably tired of hearing it, but I'm just going to say it. We are growing with you, with your help rather, and we need the help of the fans to grow. We really appreciate the love that we get already, but if we could just, it can always be better.
It's free to share.
It's free to just hit the share button. It's 2 seconds to leave a 5-star review.
Even if you don't like us, just share it, because you never know which one of your friends might.
You never know. You never know. We love it, guys. Trying to normalize paying it forward is MadBash Studios. So, for Michael Madrox, I have been Dickie Wabash. And, yeah, I think we'll see you guys next time.